Pirate Nation on X called out Monster Hunter Wilds for very poor reviews as of late, with 19% of the reviews in the last 30 days being positive. And the rest of the 8,146 user reviews are overwhelmingly negative for Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, this is a game that I have over 10 hours of playtime in, and personally did not run into much of, if any, issues whatsoever in that 10-hour period. Now, I do know that when Hypnotic was playing it, he was running into some stuttering and some framing issues or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he was running into some issues with it when he was running it on his computer. And ironically, I think he has a better computer than me, so that I don't know why that happened, but who knows? Who knows what happened? But Pirate Nation says, in an unprecedented turn, Monster Hunter Wilds is the first big name that has achieved an overwhelmingly negative rating, 0 to 19% positive reviews. Now that Wilds has broken a record, how should Capcom move forward? Now, when I first saw this, I was genuinely perplexed because my experience was perfectly fine with this game. I enjoyed it enough. I didn't get completely enthralled in the story because I'm like, to me, it's a Monster Hunter game. And it was exactly what I expected from it. I've played Monster Hunter Worlds. I've played the original Monster Hunter back in the day a little bit, but it was mostly Worlds on, what was that, a DS or 3DS, I mean. And I figured it would be a similar experience, and it was. And you know what? Some people fall in love with that gameplay loop and other people don't. For me, I was like, yeah, it's fun. And that was it. I had my time with it. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll go back to this if I get bored someday. The storyline wasn't necessarily enthralling. It wasn't really captivating me. It was just kind of like, go beat the crap out of these massive monsters, go see some storyline and do it again and just keep going until you beat the game. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I expected out of it. And that's what I got, my 10 plus hours of playtime in it. And again, maybe I'll get back to it at some point because I didn't really see any issues with it. It didn't grapple me too much, but at the same time, it wasn't terrible either. But when you go over to Steam charts, and this is one of the biggest drop-offs in a less than 4-month period, a 5-month period of time, ever. I've never seen anything like this in my life. This is insanity. So when Monster Hunter Wilds launched, it peaked at 1.3 million players, almost 1.4 million players concurrently. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. Now, when I was checking this earlier, it was at 6,500. Let me refresh. It's probably going to go down from that. Let's see. Oh, no. Okay. So it goes up because I guess it's a bigger game over in the East. I guess that makes sense too. In Japan as well. But my goodness, the drop off is spectacular. Like, this looks like Ubisoft stock right now. Like, this is absolutely nuts. What the hell happened? So you start going to the reviews of this game, and they say, could have been a great game. What a shame. Graphics are gorgeous. New weapon mechanics are actually pretty fun, but there's just barely anything to do in the game. Not enough monsters. Look at all those Rathasaurus. Barely any challenging and interesting quests or events. The update pace is super slow, and the order they release stuff makes no sense. Final boss of the story didn't come at launch. Seriously? It's hard to stay hyped when every patch feels like a tiny drip of content compared to World, where I could sink hundreds and hundreds of hours right from launch and still have a blast. This game feels super empty. So this is clearly someone who definitely has played Monster Hunter quite a bit. We were at 113 hours of playtime, and their expectation going into it was clearly to have a lot more content. I think this is just a mismatch of expectations for some people. And for some, I mean, Monster Hunter fans, which, like I said, self-admitted, I am not a huge Monster Hunter fan. I'm familiar with the series and I play it and I enjoy it for what it is, but I'm not like, oh my God, Monster Hunter, what's next? Like I would look at like a Final Fantasy style game, or trying to think off the top of my head here, the next Mario game, or the next Zelda game, like that kind of stuff, where I would be like very deep into the lore of the game and what's happening with it and understanding how deep it goes and what, like, I don't get like that with Monster Hunter Wilds. But for the people that do, clearly it's not meeting their expectations. But it's not necessarily the optimization that is the massive drawback, but they do mention it. And don't even get me started on the gear system. New restrictions, separating weapon and armor totally kill build creativity. Everyone using the same build for every weapon. Late game just doesn't feel rewarding anymore. Also, the optimization. Forget about the in-game performance. Just launching the game takes forever. For a game this big, it really shouldn't be struggling this much. Waited years for this. Now I just feel sad, which is crazy to hear someone with 113 hours on a game say that they're not happy with it. Like, that's a lot of hours to put into the game that you don't like. Like, damn, bro. $70 for what has become a watered down experience compared to previous entries. It's been out 4 months and the game hasn't seen any noticeable performance fixes. Not only wasn't the bad performance fixed, it actually got worse for a lot of people. So this one is what I wanted to touch on, because I haven't played the game since launch. And I'm hearing a lot of reports from people of saying that they haven't, not just they haven't improved the performance, but with additional updates, the performance continues to get worse and worse with every update, which is a big yikes if that was a problem at the beginning for some people. But at this point, like I said, for me, it was running fairly smooth on my PC. I didn't have any issues. I have GeForce RTX 4070. And when I ran the performance, so this was my score, 18,652, average frame per second of 69. Nice. Resolution 2560 by 1440, high graphics setting. And that's all the stats, RAM, GPU, all that. And it says good. Not great, not average, not bad, good. And that's kind of what I was expecting when I ran my test with it. Now, I had I'm Batman communicating with me today as well. So shout out to I'm Batman with the information that they sent me. And they gave me similar information. I'm Batman says that's actually okay performance. Kind of okay performance with frame gen on. Ouch. Maybe, but I'm just telling you from my own personal experience playing the game. I didn't notice like a massive issue while I was traversing. Like, sure, there'd be frame drops when like a lot of stuff came on screen at once. But I think for me, I'm just kind of used to that because I play a lot of retro games. So when that happens, it's kind of, yep, it's a little bit of slowdown, but I'm used to it. And here we go. It picks up again and it's fine right after that. So maybe people are just expecting perfection the whole time through, and I'm a little bit more forgiving, and maybe I shouldn't be, but that's just, it's a case by case with people on that. But yeah, there's a lot of people with a lot of frustrations with this game and basically saying that it is not what they expected it to be. And it has only gotten worse with time. And again, I bring this back up and I look at this and I'm just like, this chart right here is so telling. I have never seen a bigger drop off in my life in such a short period of time. Like, this is from March. That's 4 months ago. March, April, May, June. 4 months ago. 4 months ago. That's insane. But I would almost argue from my own perspective, like, it's a Monster Hunter game. And my expectation was met when I played it because I'm not a huge Monster Hunter fan. I'm like casual. I'm like the definition. I am the most average casual Monster Hunter fan in the world. where I'll play it casually. I understand the basics of the game. I understand the gameplay loop. I understand the world that it's in. I understand all that. I understand how to play it, why you do it, and everything. Like, I get all that. But like I said, I think the people that expected more out of this game are getting far less than what was promised. And there's a huge mismatch in what expectations were compared to what they were given. And yeah, that's a good point. Night Rain is going to have a big drop off too. I would imagine it will too. Yeah, good point. Now, oh yeah, good point. Now look at Monster Hunter World, because yeah, Monster Hunter World is going to have probably more. Yeah. And that's crazy too, because the all-time peak was nearly 7 years ago, and it didn't even reach a quarter. It's about a quarter of the max concurrent player count. Wow. Not only that, but Monster Hunter World on Steam is $30. It's $30. So we're running into the issue once again where Ubisoft is in the same predicament. Their older games are better, at least the community sentiment likes the older games more, and the older games are less than half the price of the newer game. And if that's the case, why would anyone buy the new one? And I was just going to say, you beat me to it, Demonic 114. We're heading for a gaming collapse. This is, by the way, this is why they want to take physical games away from people, on top of the financial benefit to it, but also the control aspect. Because if you don't have the ability to go to your back catalog and pick up your physical game and put it in, you need to go to the store and buy it from them, and they can control the price of whatever their back catalog is at any time. Games from yesteryear are about to start getting a whole lot more expensive to start competing with games that are coming out now, to force people's hands on buying the games that are coming out now, even if they're not as good as the older ones. That is a massive issue. So yeah, that exactly. Doom's another one. Doom flop, AAA failing, high prices. Yeah, this is like the canary in the coal mine. I think we're all seeing it. I think Doom was the canary in the coal mine with that kind of stuff. But now seeing what happened with Monster Hunter Wilds and all these other games that are coming out right now that are falling flat on their face, it's very telling. It's very telling. But anyways, I'll leave that one there, and we'll see where it goes from here. But yikes, yikes! So when I saw Pirate Nation say this, I was just like, I could not be more shocked. I was like, whoa, because I was not keeping up with it at all. That genuinely shocked me. Also, they're making games harder to run, and not everyone can afford a $1,000 plus GPU upgrade every 2 to 3 years. That's a good point too. That fact alone might be what buoys consoles in the future, actually, because at least consoles, they're forced to work on that set of standard. The problem with the consoles is you get the freaking PS5 Pro or Nintendo Switch 2 or Xbox Series S or X. It's like, well, they're just like upgrading what they had before to up the specs, but the games are really not changing too much. It is concerning. It is definitely concerning.